Hello and welcome to my third YouTube video. I figured since my last video was the Nan Madol challenge, the one city, one tile challenge, the only logical next challenge would be the no city challenge. And then after that, I will probably only do Civ 6 videos when they come out with new content, because I'm approaching almost 3,000 hours on Civ 6. And while I love the game, that is a lot of hours. And yes, I'm aware that Spiffing Brit has already done this video on Prince. We'll be doing it on Deity, of course. Obviously, we'll be playing with Coupe. I think the only two modes that are going to help me for this challenge is Apocalypse mode and Barbarian Clans mode, because that'll give me a chance of getting more city-states. Other than that, we'll just leave everything else blank. Only thing I'm going to change over here is I'm going to add I'll go up to 14 city-states. We'll do an archipelago map so it's easier for us to get around, and we'll do high sea level. Everything else we'll leave as is. And let's get started. Turn 1 will train animal husbandry. Hopefully that'll help us find some horses somewhere. And basically we're just going to run around and try to meet as many city-states as possible as fast as possible. Turn 3, we're the first civ to meet Venice, giving us a free envoy. Turn 4, we've just met Bologna. Turn 5, we've just met our first civilization, Spain. Turn 10, we've just met Zanzibar. Turn 11, we've just met Singapore, and we got a free envoy from a goodie hut. Turn 13, we've just met our second civilization, India. Turn 14, we've just met Cahokia. Turn 15, we've just met Kumasi and Babylon. And we've managed to fully circumnavigate the world. Turn 16, we've just met our third civilization, Maya. Turn 18, we've just met Vilnius. Turn 20, we've just met Lahore. Turn 23, we've just met Johannesburg. Turn 28, we've just met our fourth civilization, good old US of A. Turn 29, we've just discovered Giant's Causeway, which will give us Spear of Fion, so at least, my one guy has +5 combat now. And we've also just met Granada. Turn 34, and we've just received 20 horses from a goodie hut, and we've become friends with India. Now let's see who will pay the most for these horses. India will give me 2. Maya will give me 3, as will Teddy. And we have a winner, Spain, at 6 gold per turn. Turn 35, we just met our final civ, Eleanor of France. Turn 36, India just sent a delegation of 25 gold to our capital, but we don't have a capital. Turn 37, I was trying to run from a storm and pulled right up on some barbarians. Hopefully they'll stay more focused on Paris than they are on me, or it's game over. Turn 38, we've just become suzerain to Zanzibar, which puts us in a golden era. I can't even believe it. Turn 39, Teddy has just sent a delegation to our non-existing capital as well. And turn 40, he denounces me because he just plain doesn't like me? Well, thanks for the free 25 gold right before denouncing me, I guess. Turn 47, we just entered the classical era and received probably our one and only golden age. And my warrior is having the best of luck trying to get to a goodie hut. Just got attacked by a volcano while he was killing 2 slingers. Turn 49, we've just become friends with Maya. Turn 54, Maya has just sent us a free delegation. Turn 57, we just got our first and only governor, Amani. Turn 61, India just offered us 20 horses and 60 gold for 22 diplomatic favor. I think we're going to take that offer, and we'll turn around and sell the horses to somebody else. And Eleanor will give me 6 gold for 30 turns for the 20 horses. Turn 62, we are now suzerain to Venice. Turn 81, we've just lost our suzerain to Venice, so I am transferring Amani to Singapore now. Turn 87, we just entered the medieval era, and we went from golden age to dark age. And we have our first world congress. This is kind of just going to be a guessing game. I'm going to go with trade city routes, and I'll probably choose Teddy since he has the most diplomatic favor, and he will probably vote for himself. And it worked. 2 diplomatic victory points. I am in second place, tied with Teddy, just like last time. Good old Teddy. Turn 91, we've just promoted Amani with affluence. Turn 98, one of the barbarian camps has just converted into a city-state, and I was the first to meet them, giving us a free envoy. Turn 103, the barbarian camp that I've been protecting from Zanzibar finally converted into a city-state. Turn 104, yet another barbarian camp has converted into a city-state, and we were the first to meet them. Turn 117, we've got our second world congress. Teddy has the most diplomatic favor, so for public relations, we're just gonna vote for Teddy to get 50% fewer grievances. As for world religion, we're just gonna check and see what Teddy's religion is, and we'll vote for that one. And we only got 1 diplomatic victory point out of that vote. vote, but that's okay. And that puts us in first place for diplomatic victory. I should also mention that Singapore has horses, so I've been trading off horses this entire time. Turn 123, India has just sent an embassy of 50 gold to our non-existent capital. Turn 127, we just entered the Renaissance era, and we have our second Dark Age. Turn 147, we got our third World Congress. This one is just going to be a guessing game here. Going back and forth between ranged and melee, and trade and scientific. Decided to go with ranged and trade. Let's see how we do. And of course, melee and scientific. That's my luck. Turn 160, we just lost our suzerain to Zanzibar, so we're going to have to send our units over to Singapore now. And turn 161, we can now sell imaginary open borders. Turn 167, we've just entered the industrial era and yet another dark age. Turn 177, we've got our fourth World Congress. Now for urban development treaty, they almost always go for city center. And for migration treaty, I'm just going to go ahead and go with Teddy since he has the most points and hope I get 2 points. And we won both of them. So that's 2 diplomatic victory points for us, which puts us tied for first in a diplomatic victory with Teddy, of course. Good old Teddy. Turn 180 and it looks like Singapore now has niter because Spain has just tried to buy some that I didn't even know I had. And it looks like I really lucked out because there are only 2 city-states that have niter. And the niter is selling like hotcakes. Turn 189, what we've been waiting for, our first natural disaster. So we'll go ahead and send him 400 gold. Turn 197, I've just received an envoy. And that might not seem like that big of a deal in a normal game, but in this one, they're very few and far between. So in order to get the most out of it, I'm gonna have to get kind of creative. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my one envoy and send it to Singapore. And then I'll move Amani from Singapore to Valletta, which will put me suzerain of 2 city-states instead of just 1. Turn 207, we've just entered the modern era, and we are now friends with good old Teddy. We are still in first place in the aid request, and we have our 5th World Congress. Looks like Lady 6 Guy is the one in the lead now with the diplomatic favor, so we're just going to go ahead and vote for her all the way down, even giving her 2 diplomatic victory points. And it looks like we won. Oh my goodness. For some reason, these idiots want to send me an extra trade route. Philip got the 2 diplomatic victory points, wasn't even expecting that. Everybody voted for me to get the extra trade route capacity. Like, okay. That makes sense. We at least got the Lady 6 Guy culture bomb. So 1 diplomatic victory point is better than none. Turn 215, and we are now second in the aid request, and we've got 4 turns left. So we're going to go ahead and send Teddy some more money. 1,700 should do it. And looks like now one of our city-states has coal. Turn 220, we've just won the aid request, giving us 2 more diplomatic victory points. Turn 222, we've just become friends with Spain. Turn 237, we have our 6th World Congress. Last time it was 100% grievances for Lady 6 Guy, so I'm going to do that one again. I'm going to go with Trade City-State again. And I think I'll go with Philip because last time he voted all of his points to himself to win 2 points. And if I give him the extra points, he'll probably win it. And we won all 3 of those. So that gives me 3 diplomatic victory points, which puts me in first place for a diplomatic victory. Turn 225, Eleanor has just offered me oil for coal. That's going to come in real handy. Turn 247, we just entered the atomic era, our first normal era. And it looks like the oil is already coming in handy. Turn 250, and I can't believe my eyes. She's offering me 20 uranium, 4 gold per turn, plus 8 gold for 3 coal. I'll take it. Turn 252, and we can finally upgrade. We could finally upgrade our warrior. It's like the most exciting thing that's happened to me the entire game, right here. Upgrading my guy. Turn 253, and we've just lost suzerain to Singapore, so I'm going to go ahead and send Amani over to Singapore, because that is where all of my resources are coming from. Turn 260, we are now suzerain to Singapore. Try saying that 7 times real fast. Turn 267, we have our 7th World Congress. We're going to go back to voting for Teddy because he has the most points. With the military advisory, it's just a total guess. I'm going to go with melee. I want to go with Teddy for the 2 diplomatic victory points. And we'll vote for the World Games, of course. And it looks like we won 2 of them. Turn 272, I've just earned another envoy, so I'm going to send that to Singapore and then send Amani back over to Akkad. Turn 287, we've just entered the information era. Turn 296, and Teddy has just offered us some aluminum along with 61 gold per turn. Turn 297, and we just entered our 8th World Congress. And this is just going to be a random guess here on pretty much all of them. For the deforestation treaty, it's just going to be a guessing game. For mercenary companies, they usually go with minus 50% production, but sometimes this late in the game they go with minus 50% gold. I'll most definitely go with Spain for the +2 diplomatic victory points, and I definitely should win the climate accords because I don't have any cities produce any CO2 at all. So I got rainforest. I should have gone with my initial thought that it was late enough in the game that they're going to choose gold. Wow, and Lady 6 guy won the diplomatic victory points. So that means I only get 1 point. But at least the climate accords passed, and I'm already in first place. And now India wants to buy my aluminum for 33 gold per turn. He also wants to give me open borders and sugar. We're going to get more gold out of him for that. Turn 326, the comets are dropping like bombs, and this one was actually pretty close to home. I'm starting to get a little scared. And turn 327, we just won the climate accords, giving us 2 more diplomatic victory points, and all we had to do was just sit there and exist. That puts us at 16 of 20. We're getting there. Turn 329, we've just entered the future era. We're still in first for diplomatic victory, and we've also got another normal era. The comets keep dropping, and the sky is pretty much black with ash. What we really need right now is a couple natural disasters. Turn 340, the solar flares have now started up. Comets just keep dropping like pretty much every other turn. And turn 341, jackpot. We've got 2 natural disasters, probably both comets. Or maybe it was the solar flare, because it did happen the turn right after the solar flare. But we have 2 natural disasters, and we've got, 12,000 gold? Plenty to win the whole game. So we'll go ahead and send India 300 gold, and we'll send Spain 300 gold as well. Okay, turn 357. Comets just keep dropping so close to me. I'm just so scared I'm gonna die. And solar flares are going off like every 2 or 3 turns now too. And we have what is hopefully our last World Congress. Currently have 17 points. In 14 turns, I'm going to win those 2 aid requests, so really all I need is to stay at 16 or above, which means I can lose 1, because I'm going to have to vote for myself to lose 2 points. First off, we're going to go ahead and give myself minus 2 points, because we know that's going to happen. This doesn't matter, we'll vote for the World Games. So for mercenary companies, I'm going to learn from my last mistake and go with gold this time, because it's late enough in the game that they will do gold for sure. They voted for me last time for this, so I'm just going to go ahead and vote for that. And it looks like we won all of them, which should give us 1 point. That gave me 1 diplomatic victory point, which means I am tied with Spain at first place for 18 points. All we have to do is win these 2 aid requests in 13 turns, and the game will be over. Turn 365, I'm going to go ahead and send some more money to Spain and some more money to India. Turn 366, I am now in first place on both aid requests again. The game will be over in 4 turns. Turn 370, we've got 1 turn until the aid requests are over, and Spain just jumped in front of me. So we're going to go ahead and seal the deal, send him 2k more. And just in case, I'm going to send him another 1,000 as well. And just to ensure all of you at home, we are still on Deity. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. No city challenge on Deity. And thank you so much for watching. Remember, this is a brand new YouTube video, so any criticism or advice is always welcome in the comments. Thanks again.